All right, boom, 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 and we back. It's your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast, which you just heard from my man Ashton Martin with day jobs here on episode 230 of the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. Really excited. They sound really excited. Thank you for each and every person coming through, listening to the pod, watching the live, however you digest this good old content. Again, episode 230, we have none other than Miami's own, the Peruvian boom bap king, DJ Heron, will be in the building. You know what I mean? So, yeah, the claps was excited. They are excited, my boy. Gee. Anywho, yo, man's gonna come through at the halfway mark, so y'all stay tuned for that. We got a new project with none other than Thirstin Howl III, coming out of Brooklyn. Did he come out of Brooklyn? Anyway, Heron's coming out of Miami, so that whole connect, it should be super dope. Shouts out to my man Jerry working his magic. Also, man, yo, if you want to holler at your boy by getting your music played on the pod or what? Just random? Okay. How's your boy about getting on the pod, interview, songs, ad space? Why not? Just holler at me. My email always is enigmasept at gmail.com. Enigmasept at gmail.com. ENIGMASEPT at gmail.com. Holla at your boy. Shout out my man DJ A to the L, who I hollered at earlier today. That's my bro. It's all love. Still doing this thing at the flight, dog. Also, I'm gonna get these shots out, these shouts out, get out these shout outs. Of course, my baby Felicia still doing her thing. Excited applause. Excited applause for her. The phenomenal cooking experience. She'll actually be cooking up. Was it Working Class Wednesday? Giving y'all a date. The day before the last day of February 2024, she'll be supplying the tasty foods amongst just a whole bunch of events. I'll be trapping out the bando. Like for real. Like seriously trapping out the bando. Um, so shouts out to her, man. Of course, she listened. She said, "Thank you, baby." But of course, had to give you a shout out, baby. Y'all doing your thing. Also, again, so of course, shouts out to my baby Mackenzie. Her school celebrated their 75th anniversary, and so they had a little the students rather, had a recital, not a recital, like a sing along, based on like the decades. And my baby did her thing, man. She was great. I was proud. And why is my phone vibrating? Uh, how I stopped the phone from vibrating? I had an iPhone. I think I told y'all that last week. I have an iPhone now. Yeah, I did because I showed y'all the logo. Yeah, I didn't know how to stop vibrating because that's making a noise. Oops, can't put it in. What we got going on? We got a lot going on. There's a lot to talk about, and we already 5 minutes in. All right, let's get into the simple stuff. Shouts out to none other than Drake. Okay, not that excited. Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the what? Biggest the biggest the Super Bowl. big as the Super Bowl. You know, shout out to my man Dennis Hobbs doing his thing. Yeah, welcome to the dark side. Yeah, I have joined the empire. Steve Jobs slave, as I used to call everybody else. My man on the YouTube side, salute. Anyway, yeah. So speaking of Drake, his album "Take Care," which I'm pretty sure is Dennis Hobbs' favorite album from Drake. Like, man, you don't know me. I don't. I don't know what Dennis' favorite album from Drake. Anyway, that album is now eligible for platinum, not platinum, diamond certification, which is in hip hop not a crowded room. You know what? I'm with you. Then it says actually nothing was the same. I think that's his best album. I'm on with you on that. I think Nothing Was the Same was his best album. Unfortunately, I think my favorite album from Drake, and my wife can attest for this, on our various road trips, is what is it? If you what is it? It's too late. If you see this, it's too late, of course. But it's more of a mixtape. I don't know. It's an album to me, and it's jamming. Like I almost know that joint front to back. But I do think Nothing Was the Same is his best album. If he has a classic, it's that album. Not Take Care. I'm sorry. But regardless of what I think, the man sold 10 million copies or on the way to selling 10 million copies. And he will join the ranks of Tupac, Biggie, Vanilla Ice, Nelly, Eminem twice, Beastie Boys, I think MC Hammer. I think that's it. So he would be the latest and probably the youngest. I don't think anyone under the age of 50. Not to be confused with 50 cents. I don't think anyone under the age of 50 has a diamond album. What's it about? Under the age of 40, I should say. Because Eminem is yet to be 50. I think he turned 50 this year. No, I think he turned 50 last year. I'm tripping. No, so yeah, anybody under the age of 50 hasn't done it yet. Sorry, Kanye. Sorry, Kanye. Anyway, so there's that light news, even though he out here promoting, giving shouts out to Trey Songz. That's not weird. Also, I wasn't even gonna talk about this, but because there's so much other stuff that came up. Today was a slow news day until like 3 hours ago. But yo, we got two DJs from the city. Let's give them their props. Two DJs from the city who's been nominated for the 2024 Southern Entertainment Awards, or C. Yeah, one DJ Demp, who's been nominated for #1 DJ in the South, and one DJ Vert, who's been nominated as the Slept On DJ, which I don't know how happy he was about that. Like, God damn, what kind of award is that? Slept On? Is it? I don't think it's diamond yet. Get Rich or Die Trying is also diamond. Speaking of 50, is it? Yeah, give me my facts. Yeah, you gotta fact check that because I don't think you reached diamond yet. It's close. It may be like 9 million, but I don't think it's diamond yet. Or it hasn't been certified diamond yet. But let me know, Dennis. A couple people call me that. Anyway, shouts out to you, Facebook user. We appreciate you. Can't see your name because whatever. I don't know if that's my regular Facebook, or regular Facebook, or my Enigma Sept Facebook. Probably my regular Facebook. It sucks. They don't want to give people their names. You gotta give me like a clue. Oh, oops, psych. Apparently not, because here comes Marcus. His name pops up. Speaking of Marcus, he has his new podcast. I think I announced it last week. Real Spill with Dupree, um, in which I'm a executive producer. Man, I did 3 shows without me already. Took off. I'm like, you got it, bro. No, but yeah, man. Shouts out to my man Marcus. Y'all make sure to look him up, man. Real Spill with Dupree. Um, he already had a dope interview with the FAMU high school coach. I can't think of child. She's more famous than me, Erica Kamani. Uh, yeah, Facebook is a whole hater. You are correct, and Facebook is 20 years old too. That's what's crazy. Yeah, Facebook user. Uh, Erica Kamani. Jeez, shame on me. Anyway, he doing the same. See, that's correct. You got me. Now he's the executive producer. Where is it? I'm just not going to start this guy. All right, let me get to it before I start getting into it. Now it's time for the real news. Are you people ready for the real news? B flat major. No doubt. Yeah, you had me on as a guest. I should have been your first guest, but anyway. I'm joking, bro. I said, Facebook doesn't like us. Yeah, I don't know. Whoever Facebook user, you're the only one. I think it's because we're viewing from his personal page. Yeah, probably. So you want to be seen. You want to become famous. You're going to go to YouTube or go to my Enigma Sept page. I do have an Enigma Sept page on Facebook. I don't think too many people know that. I need to promote it more. Anyway, let's get to the news, man. First, according to documents obtained by Radar Online on February 16th, a judge ordered Dame Dash, I don't know why he put his full name on here, to sell his shares of Rockefeller Records after he allegedly refused to pay a $823,000 judgment to movie producer Josh Weber that stemmed from the 2016 film Dear Frank. Jay Z and Biggs Burke, who are the 2 other founders of Rockefeller, tried to stop the sale because of a clause they created without Dame, but the judge said, "Fuck y'all, pay me." So to keep a third of the rock out of stranger danger, Jay and Biggs will have to bid an auction according to the judge. So, yeah. So, and there's been word that Jay-Z tried to offer Dame like $1 million for the share so it won't get lost, and Dame was like, "Nah, bro." It made it seem like Jay was trying to help him, but it also seems like Jay and Biggs was on some like sneaky shit and trying to stop the sale before Dane lost it, because clearly Dane has lost it, uh, bro. And what's even crazier is that he's facing another lawsuit from a photographer that claimed that he like SA'd her years ago. Now she's coming back and trying to sue him for like 400 million for using like photos that she took. So he has that, and then he has this movie thing where he's supposed to direct the movie at his house, and then like everything fell apart. So they did the movie elsewhere, but then apparently he tried to sell the movie, and they was like, "Nah, bro, we fired you, and now you're trying to sell our movie." So apparently he lost that settlement, and that's why they're trying to take a third of Rockefeller, which is crazy. So, um, who knows? Maybe Kanye will come in and swoop in. That would be great. Jay-Z, I love that. Uh, Marcus said, "Mine was doing the one show because I went live from multiple pages, but not only do one page, it doesn't do that." I have to do that. Never mind. I went to the Enigma Sept page and it's still not showing my. Jeez. Sorry, Facebook user. Facebook doesn't like you. I know. Man. So there's that. Um, Also, and more, it's a bunch of New York stuff. If you don't like New York hip hop, you may want to leave. Another story that came out today, happened today. It's actually bittersweet news. All of this is bittersweet news. Jam Master Jay's killers were convicted today. Two men from Queens have been found guilty on all counts of the October 30th, 2002 murder of Jam Master Jay, member of the iconic hip hop group Run DMC. I don't know if that's something to really celebrate like that. I apologize. It's the only sound I got. It's your wife and Abe. Okay, it must be Abe. I know if he know how to say stuff to make me know it's her. Anyway, Carl Jordan Jr., also known as Little D, pause, hey, you, and Noy, and Ronald Washington, also known as Tenard, were found guilty of one count of murder while engaging in narcotic trafficking, one count of firearm related murder for the fatal shooting of Jam Master Jay. The real name was Jason Mizell. Hey, I know, bro. I get it. I get it. But no, now part of the story too is that through the trial, it was found that Jam Master Jay had got tied in with selling narcotics or cocaine, and apparently he had made a deal to get a number of keys um, to sell for I think somebody out of New Jersey, but and I guess the killers wanted in on the deal, but he basically the supplier didn't want to work with them, and so I guess he went along with it. And they got jealous, and then in turn decided to take him out, despite his legendary status, and despite the fact that the younger of the two, who was 19 at the time, but he's now 40, was Jam Master Jay's godson, and then the older guy, who I think he's like almost 60 now, was Jam Master Jay homie. So, bro, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? End of the day, doesn't matter who you are. Uh, Come down to his money and jealousy and envy. Uh, they're gonna come after you, man. No matter how much love, uh, all the things you may have done for somebody, looked out for them. Come down to power and money. None of that matters. And also, too, I think another thing is it really sucks that someone as legendary as Jam Master Jay, and all the things that he contributed to the culture, that he was in a position even as early as 2002, 2001. He was in a position where he felt the need to have to sell drugs to maintain whatever status he had. You know, and I think it leans into the lack of financial awareness that some of the our early icons didn't have and wasn't able to flex. Now, but then oddly enough, you say that about Jam Master Jay, and maybe he didn't get the same type of royalties as DMC or Ron, but around the same time, Ron was just popping off with Ron's house. Y'all remember the um, reality TV show he had with his kids when Reverend Ron was in the tub tweeting before Twitter was even created. I don't know what he was doing. Anyway, um, but yeah, so it just really sucks that Jam Master Jay felt like he had to go that route, and that eventually led to his demise. But the good thing is that it seems as that justice has been served, and so hopefully these guys can either be rehabilitated or rot their asses in jail. Um, it's up to them now. It's up to God. But there's that, man. It's really again bittersweet. And again, speaking of bittersweet, kind of in the same lane, those, especially from Tallahassee, who remember the vicious murder of one Princess Tolliver. Uh, it was discovered this week or yesterday. Um, after a year after the drive-by shooting at in Sanford, Florida, that took her life on Monday, so yesterday, the Seminole County Sheriff Office announced that 13 suspects had been arrested in connection with the shooting and charged with murder, attempted murder, along with felony charges of racketeering. Um, the sheriff in Seminole County said during the press conference that there's one other person that remains. And so it turns out it was tied into beef between uh, Kodak Black and Jack Boy. So I don't know all the particulars about their beef or their relationship or lack thereof, but apparently they had some beef. Jack was performing in Sanford, which that sounds familiar. Sanford is also the same place that the murder of Trayvon Martin happened back in 2012. So yeah, so apparently he performed there, and him and his entourage, which Princess was a part of, was leaving the place when this gang pulled up and shot up the sprinter van, what is it, sprinter, the sprinter van, thinking that Jack Boy was in there, but he was in the SUV up front, aka Biggie. Well, I like Biggie, he can get hit though. Anyway, I'm not joking about my favorite rapper. But they sprayed the sprinter van, and unfortunately, Princess uh, didn't make it. So, but it's just disturbing, bro, because it's like she lost her life behind two dudes beefing, and then not only that, they saying that Kodak had no ties to these people. They was just doing it for clout. They were trying to do it just to get his attention or to say that they did it for Kodak, and it's just crazy. That's mind-boggling to me. Almost. Because I will say that speaking of Biggie, I remember when Tupac got shot and eventually, well, the second time he got shot, and eventually passed away. And I remember when it was announced, the first thing I thought of, I was like, Biggie dead. Biggie dead. I just knew it because I knew how even then how fanatical his Tupac fans were. And even though there seemed to be no ties to all the stories that were coming out that Biggie had anything to do with it, I just knew how people thought. You know what I'm saying? Me as a Biggie fan, it was like I love Biggie, but I wasn't go out and try to kill Tupac for him. You know what I'm saying? Nah. But I knew pop fans were like that. And so on the flip, to see this, it's like dang, like y'all so caught up in artists to the point where y'all will go and take an innocent person's life just to for clout. It's ridiculous. And I ain't gonna front. Like I don't know if I said it on here before. I should have. I'm not a fan of Kodak at all. I recognize, you know, the flow, especially the flow that it's eventually blew up Cardi B. But man, I mean, to go back into the discussion we had or I had last week about redemption and who we deem to be redeemable and who we don't. To me, Kodak, time and time again, and I know he had nothing to do with this, but regardless, he's time and time again shown to me that he's hardly redeemable, bro. But people still put him on this pedestal, and I get it because it's just we live in a celebrity culture. But for him in particular, man, I'm just like, we can do better. We can do better, especially if it means leading to the innocent murder of people that just trying to vibe, man, trying to live. That's crazy. So yeah, so rest in peace, man, the princess, and peace and blessings to her family, friends. I mean, there was a lot of people I know who knew her. Um, she definitely had more emotion than me up here in Tally. So, um, but yeah, man, just hope now they can justice can be found. She can rest in peace. For real, for real. What else we got, man? I ain't got time. I don't got time for the realness. I spent too much time to worry about Facebook and singing it up to. Lord, let me tell y'all about your boy Diddy. No, they ain't nah. They ain't gonna work. Oh my gosh! I tried to hit that note. It did not happen. Speaking of hitting though, man, Diddy got another one. Take that. Apparently, yeah. So apparently, there's a former male employee who filed what's called the fifth sexual assault suit against Diddy. Producer Rodney Little Rod Jones. Uh, bro, they could have. They ain't have to add his Little Rod. Hey, yo. Anyway, Rodney Jones filed a suit against Combs in the Southern District of New York on Monday, alleging that Combs had made unwanted sexual advances and forced them to hire sex workers and engage in relations with them. Mans is seeking $30 million for having to go out and no, for real, he needs to go and hide under a rock, bruh. The crazy thing is, so apparently the producer was hired to work on the Diddy, Diddy's latest album, and in the midst of that, I guess he encountered all of these things, including going out in public with a bad boy cap to let the hoes know, on the hoes or the homos or the whole homos or the homo hoes. I don't know what's going on, but apparently, man had a cap. He was going out and he had a bad boy cap that meant he was down for the cause. He also alleged that Diddy, this is more serious, drugged him and then had him engage in sexual acts with prostitutes. Again, I don't know if it was just hoes, homo hoes. They didn't really distinguish in the article. Shouts out to Verity. Can't talk. Anyway, and then also a story where he alleged that Diddy and his son Justin got into an altercation that led to a man getting shot in the belly, which so I kind of took personal because I got a belly. But then said that he was told to lie to say that the man was shot in the drive-by, which is kind of foul because it happened in L.A. Is that like L.A. races or something? Like we in L.A. people get hit by drive-bys all the time. They don't believe it. Anyway, he also said that Diddy confessed that he was the one that was did the shooting in the 1999 nightclub joint with him and J Lo and Sean that Sean ended up having to do a down for. It also, man, it's a lot of stuff. He even said that there's a tape and they have pictures to collaborate. Pictures with him and what's your boy? Stevie J doing some salacious thing, which it won't be Stevie J's first time on video. Shouts out to Eve. Not Stevie J's first rodeo. But yeah, man, just a whole bunch of stuff, man. It's crazy. But of course, like people said, Diddy, when it rains, it pours. Now, honestly, the crazy thing, it was one thing that was crazy, and I was just like, okay, this is looking kind of, I ain't gonna say bogus, but I don't know. It was just a lot of stuff. I guess what got me was not victim blaming, just pointing out something that's just unusual. So apparently, the drugging incident with him and Diddy and the prostitutes happened February 2023. He didn't leave until November 2023. Again, Stockholm syndrome. victim mentality, all of that plays into it. So I'm not judging this person if all of this is true. I just assume for me, if someone did that to me, bro, it's not gonna take me 8 months to be like, all right, peace. No, I'm going then. It's gonna be a problem. Matter of fact, you ain't got to worry about me suing you, my boy. It's gonna be assaults and with deadly weapons happening. I'm gonna be the one that go to court. You know what I mean? I just ain't gonna be like, oh well, I guess I'll hang around, do some more music, wait for the album to drop. How about that? Nah, bro. You're gonna drop these bombs on your forehead, bro. Like it's gonna be a problem, dog. But again, didn't happen to me. Not alleging this, so we'll see how this works out. But yeah, Diddy may have to pull a Uncle Russ. Better go see what they doing out there in Bali, my boy, because yeah, it's coming down on you, pause. Anyway, we're going to this next track, and then we're going to go into this interview. Going man Tareef Knockout, vibing in Tampa, with his new joint called Superheroes. And then we'll be right back with you, my man DJ Heron. This is the Enigma Sept Hour. You got time, baby.
Peace.
Boom, boom, boom. And we back. It's your boy Enigma September, and this is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast, which you just heard my man Tareef Knockout. Like I was just on the phone with this guy yesterday with superheroes. And without further ado, got my man DJ Heron in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's up, brother? How you doing? Good to meet you. Enigma September, is that your name?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Good to meet you, brother.
I'm from that era of rap when you had to have a surname. You know what I'm saying? On some Wu-Tang shit. Nah, it's great. Like my original name was.
Are you trying to say Are you trying to say you're as old as I am?
No, I think you got me.
Really?
Yeah, you got me. You got to have me at least by 5 years. But yeah, no.
Okay.
Came up in the it came into hip hop in the 90s. You know what I mean? So.
Okay.
But definitely, had the Wu-Tang influence. So with Raekwon and Chef and Method Man.
So if I was to guess, you're about 39, 40.
Thank you for shaving some years off. Nah, add about 4 years. Add 4 years. You know what I'm saying? I popped out here in 1980. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So speaking of, now you came out. Yeah, I think it was my wife. I'm like, he wish. I'm straight. I'm good at 43.
Bless her heart.
You know what I mean? 43 is all right for me. I'm good.
That's great. That's a good. I remember 43. That was good.
I want to say oldman.net. Hey, keep waking up.
Oldman.net.
The comment section wild today, bro. I don't know what it is. They wild. But yeah, man. So I know you was born in Peru, and then your family came over to America. You originally you came here. You came to New York, right? And then you got to Miami.
Correct. Yeah. I got to New York around 72, 73. My parents, we flew over. They had a visa, and they flew over and we moved to Coney Island for a couple of years in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Before I went to Miami, but Miami, I got to Miami in '89, like 87, 88.
Right,
but
so
most
you
of my
young time to really get that New York.
Oh, definitely. I went to high school in Frankie K. Lane. Like it was a rap. Like I was there when it all started. The block parties, the white gloves, the breakdancing, the linoleum on the floor. You know what I'm saying? Those were the good old days.
I bet. Yo, so that's like my man Stats the MC. He in the building. He's definitely a hip hop. What's the word?
Connoisseur.
There you go. Thank you very much. I'm the rapper. He the DJ. He got more better vocabulary than me. That's crazy. Anyway, how does that work? No, that's how it's supposed to work. But yeah, my man Stats the MC, man. Like, I'm pretty sure you may have ran into him before because he be everywhere. He meets everybody. So
Stats the MC.
Yeah, that's my bro. But man, so so. How was the transition though, going from New York, where you saw the birth of hip hop and seeing everything popping off, and then you come to Miami and Cocaine Cowboys and
I walked right into that, man.
Dodge City.
I walked into the Griselda era, right? Literally, like it was. I walked. I mean, I remember seeing all those, like on Channel 7 News, like watching Rick Sanchez showing all the footage about all the crazy shit that was going on. I literally walked in on Cocaine Cowboys when I got down here.
That's crazy.
The transition was crazy, man, because like I'm so used to like hanging out to like maybe, you know, as a kid, hanging out to like maybe 10, 11, 12 o'clock at night in the neighborhood, you know, because I was in the neighborhood. But down here, I had to be. I was in the crib by 8, 9 o'clock at night. You know, and it was just a little weird for me. You know what I'm saying? But I adjusted quick, made some, you know, quick friends, and you know, I moved on. You know what I'm saying? But the adjustment was, and also the music was different. Like I would hear the mixes up there, like in New York, I would hear like Red Alert on 98.7 Kiss. I would hear Mr. Magic and Pete Rock on 107.5 on BLS.
You never thought that, yeah.
And I used to listen to those shows as a kid when I was up there, you know, recording them, you know, putting them on cassettes and stuff like that. But when I got down here, there was nothing like that. Like I was listening when I got down here. DJ Lab was on Power 96. For my Miami people, they know who that is. And there was like this guy named Phil Jones on Power 96. He was like a black DJ that didn't know how to scratch. Like it was weird. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was a nice it was a weird transition, but it was great. I was listening to Biz Markie on my headphones, and they were listening to Luke. You know, it was
right
like night and day. You know what I'm saying? You know, but I adjusted quickly, man. I make, you know, real good friends, and I played humble. This is, you know, wasn't my city, and you know what I'm saying, and but real recognize real down here. Don't get it, you know, it may be sunny, but it ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? Miami's real as fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like if you play stupid, you're gonna get stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if if you do right, and you know you live the right way, you do what you do, you know you're gonna be right. Especially down here, like down here, like they can smell you a mile away, like you about that bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, because I also too, I guess, because be it Miami is more of a Caribbean city than Southern, but there's usually this idea that someone from New York would have kind of that air. You know what I mean? So
yeah, well,
that wasn't a situation when you got to Miami that it was like
it was actually there was a situation where it was called the New Yorkers couldn't get along with the guys from Miami. Like there was always fights after school. But the funny thing, I never got into none of those fights. I was cool with both sides, you know what I'm saying? It didn't matter to me. You know what I'm saying? None of that shit mattered to me. I still went to Mr. Williams Hideaway and still DJ there with Chris, and we did our thing, and you know what I'm saying? We had a good time and in the hood, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like it's funny in Miami, like you can miss it. It may look pretty in one little area, like you go down the block and then you see hood, you know what I'm saying? Like 3 blocks away and shit type shit, you know what I'm saying? But I guess I hope it's, well, some places in New York it's like that too, but it's just everywhere. But down here it's like you see palm trees and landscape and the nice pink buildings or the turquoise building with the lights, and then 3 blocks down is the hood. Like it's crazy.
No, it's crazy for me because even though I've been lived in Florida nearly my whole life. I've only recently been to Miami this past December.
Where are you located at?
In Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Okay.
Yeah. So like I've been in Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, Pensacola. It took me 43 years to finally get to Miami. I had a cousin down there. Yeah, and I went to the Cowboys Dolphins game.
Okay.
All my dad, because he was a big Cowboys fan. And so, but one of my claim to fame was I'd never been to Disney World and I'd never been to Miami. So I finally got that scratched off my bucket list.
One of the bucket list. How long did you stay down here?
305. My cousin showed me where the Scots were, even though they already worked on it, so it wasn't as the hood like it was in the 80s and the 90s.
Where did you hang out anywhere down here? Like, where did you go?
Nah, not pretty much. Like my cousin's he's a minister down there, so I just went to his church. I'm trying to think. My wife, she got us a hotel off of what's the Ocean Ave? What's the joint? South Beach. So see, that's my wife right there. She knew what I was thinking about. It was South Beach for the most part.
Thank you.
Then with my cousin to Hard Rock, and then we pretty much hanging out there. Went to what's your boy? Versace. Went to Versace restaurant. That was crazy because I'm an Eminem fan, so the whole time I'm thinking, "Hi, my name's Versace." So when they shot me, like the whole time, I can't say this here. They would get upset. That's not flattering.
You can't say it too loud over there either. You can't say it too loud over there either.
Right.
Homosexual will fuck you up, bro. You can't say too loud.
Right. But that's what you're walking. Living there a few times, no doubt. But no. Again, you mentioned your boy Chris, and I've seen a story. I want to ask you about when you was in your youth, and apparently you guys had got to connect to go from Miami to New York, back and forth from Miami to New York.
Well, basically, what it was Chris and I. That was like he was the fiend. You know what I'm saying? You still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I just saw something flip. Basically, Chris had a girlfriend, and she used to work for Pan Am, and she used to get us buddy flights, and we used to fly up there on Friday nights, and we would go to Sam Goody, pick up a box of batteries, 2 cassette players, and a box of tapes, and just start recording the mix shows. He would record 98.7 Kiss, and I would record 107.5.
Right.
And sometimes even 92 WKTU, they had the Latin Rascals on there. We would record some of the house stuff, and even they played some kind of hip hop back in the day. I don't know if they still exist, 92 WKTU, but we used to take those trips and come back like Sunday night, like spend Friday and Saturday just recording. We would even get hotels. We'd stay either with fam or we just really just gut it out and stay out all night. But in New York, you could do that back in the days. It wasn't like that as now. You know what I'm saying? It was different. But we would hear Sunday nights, and we would have, we would examine those cassettes, and we would study through those cassettes and like write down information, like what was Mark the 45 King produced. We heard we heard the new Public Enemy. What was Brand Nubians? What was, who was Kwame? Like we were hearing the beginning of all those kinds of things, and and I was, those cassettes were viral. Like they didn't go viral. I mean, I'm saying, but we started to sell them down here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and just the kids always knew about them, and then we started like a little following down here of that kind of, like boom bap. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, I knew it was boom bap, but down here. We couldn't. We just like us having it. It was just hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I could definitely understand that. I mean, even up here in Tallahassee, like when I was a kid, like that's what it was bass. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't right in the trunk, it wasn't getting played. So
yeah,
you,
if you had no gorillas, two gorillas fighting in the back of the trunk, it wasn't happening. Yo, for
yeah.
real.
So growing up, that's all I knew was boom, 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 boom. Every
Yeah,
car,
bam,
yeah.
boom, boom. Yo, believe
So,
me, trust me. Even as a hip hop DJ, I still had to DJ bass. I love DJing bass, seeing all the fat asses wiggling and all that shit, and the
word,
dancing, and
word.
it was just. I'm saying, like, even though even as DJ, and we still played hip hop, but we still played Luke Records and JT Money, and we played all the funk. You know what I'm saying? Big ups to the boys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We always play that. As DJs, you couldn't hate on that. It's a party town. Like, you gotta
right,
be able to
right,
play all that. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Little reggae this, R&B this. I kept it thorough, but a lot of bass music, man. We played a lot of bass, man.
Yeah, that's that's what I know. For a cat like me, in the mid '90s, like kind of thirsting for that mix because again, like even though I was a Florida boy, I got bit by the New York bug. You know what I mean? Like my favorite rapper,
Yeah,
he listened to Wu Tang, X, Nas, all of that.
yeah.
So like I used to get teased because I would go around and be like, "Hey, yo, you know what I mean, yo? I'm saying,
Yeah.
yo." They be like,
What up, yo?
"You ain't from New York."
What up,
But
yo?
it was so much I was, feeding to that. But then on the flip side, being from here, I couldn't deny DJ Magic Mike, Luke, like I said,
Yeah, of
JT,
course.
Poison
Magic
Point,
Mike,
all that.
especially. Jesus Christ. Magic Mike? Jesus.
Right.
Beast. Magic
Right.
Mike. Scratches, the bass shit. Like, I don't know. Big ups to Magic Mike.
Yeah.
Mr. Mix
So,
too, man. Mr. Mix was a beast back in the days, man.
right.
Mr. Mix actually won a DMC.
Okay.
He won a
Word.
DMC one
Word.
time. Yeah.
Like, I didn't know that. You educating, you letting me know.
Yeah.
That's dope.
DMX.
Okay.
Yeah. He won a
Florida doing this
DMC.
thing out here. You know what I'm talking about? So after the escalades to New York coming back and forth, I know you also indicated that you and Chris start getting to DJing and trying to get your mixes right.
Well,
I wasn't trying
Chris,
to breaking the thing down there back then.
Chris was his name was DJ Chris back then. We were from Third Eye Productions, and I carried his crates. I was carrying his records. Like, I
Mm,
carried his vinyl. You know what I'm saying, to the clubs. Chris was hot back then. Like, Chris was the hottest thing. He was playing all the funk. Like, I remember the clubs that he used to DJ. He used to DJ at Jonestown and some like ABCs and all these other good clubs in the beginning that he was the guy, you know what I'm saying? So I carried his records and I got to see him spin, and he taught me a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? He taught me, a lot of things. I mean, I wasn't as good as he was in the beginning, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, watching him and seeing him doing his dizzle, it was everything, you know what I'm saying? I
word,
think to
word.
me that was probably my best experience was watching him, blow up, to be the DJ that he is.
Right. I bet. So basically, fast forward, you know what I'm saying, you made a name for yourself. And so now we here to discuss, the project you got with Thirstin Howl III, who's a legend in his own right. How did that link up? How did y'all link up? And then how did y'all come up with the idea for the project?
Basically, Thirst used to live down here. His I believe it was mother or grandmother used to own a house in Wynwood,
Mm,
where Wynwood is like the hottest thing in Miami right now. Everybody that goes to South Beach is just you really not from here if you go on to South Beach. Nobody
I
parties
kind
in
of figured
South
that.
Beach. Everybody parties in Wynwood. You know what I'm saying? So uh Thurston had his family had a crib not right on Wynwood in the heart of Wynwood. So Thurston would do a low love and loyalty party every Art Basel, which was during December. I would do a 3-day event, and he would do like a barbecue. And basically during that, he had a brother that I grew up with by the name of Omar DJ Excess, who's a low life member, and ends up being Thurston's DJ. I think he's vice president of the Low chapter in Miami. So XS took him to a gig. I was DJing. Me and Chris were DJing for Slick Rick in Broward, and brought him. It was about 1,000 people. You know, we were killing it. 4 turntable action videos, like all kinds of shit. You know, Chris was always that dude, and we started rocking. You know, doing certain parties like that, and we opened up for Slick Rick that way at this big venue in Broward. That's when I met Thirstin there, and we got close from there. And years passed on. I went to Thirstin's parties. He went to my parties because I ended up doing a lot of parties down here in Miami, a lot of big underground 90s parties. And Thirstin kept, you know, I invited him to all of them. Make a long story short, we got real close to each other. He had all his music on some drives, and he handed out some of the drives to some of the DJs so he can get some mixtapes out. And I really didn't want to do a mixtape because that's what everybody was going to do. I said, yo, you got acapellas in here. So I grabbed, it was like 40, 50 acapellas. And I said, listen, instead of doing the mixtape, let's just do an album. You know, let me just grab the mix. Let me just remix these. Let me grab like 13, 14 songs. And I ended up doing 12. But let me grab these songs and I remixed them. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it came about.
All right, bet. So we're going to go ahead, man, and play a couple of joints. Now, those in YouTube land, you only get a portion, or you may not even hear it. I think my sound's still jacked up. So if it's silent, don't trip. It's playing on this end. It's just not going out. But if you listen to the podcast, you'll get the full joints on the podcast. So let's see what I got lined up so you guys know what to expect. What we got? So I got the Beautiful People featuring the Beatnuts, and then I got the single which has a video to it. So once you're done watching this on YouTube, you can go find the video on YouTube. A General featuring Big Boo, both remixed by man DJ Heron. So yeah, we're gonna go into that. So y'all stay tuned. This is the Enigma Sept Hour podcast. You got time, baby.
The Beautiful People, it was a tribute to Ultramagnetic MCs.
All right, boom, 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 and we back. It's your boy Enigma September. What you just heard was Beautiful People featuring Beatnuts and a General featuring Big Boo. Both tracks remixed by my man DJ Heron, who we got live and direct here on YouTube and Facebook and Twitch and wherever else I sent these lives. So,
The Beautiful People was a tribute to Ultramagnetic MCs. It sounds just like MC. If you hear it, it's MC Ultra. I mean, I try to do the scratches exactly like MC Ultra. Big ups to Ultra Cool Keith and Ultramagnetic MCs. It was like I grew up listening to Ultramagnetic.
Yeah, man. I met I'm trying to name drop here on my man's name. Big Daddy Yo. Daddy. I can't say Big Daddy because he ain't big. I met Daddy Yo
Daddy
about 9 years ago.
Daddy-O from Stetson Sonic.
You know what? See,
yeah,
that's what happens when you start listening to hip hop till around 92. Regardless, no. Speaking of Ultramagnetic,
Cool Keith.
What's that? The Cool Keith.
Said G, Cool Keith.
Who did Breaking Atoms?
That was Main Source.
Okay. Because that project was crazy. When I like I said, I didn't really get into the game until like 92, 93. So that was like before my time, if you will, even though I was, I was around. But to go back to it and to like listen to it and be like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
this shit. But same thing with Ultimate Net, same thing with Justice Sonic. Like you can go back to those records even now, and it's like you could tell they was ahead of their time because it sounds good now. You know what I mean?
That's a
So
Sonic is That's a Sonic was officially the first jazz hip hop band in Brooklyn, like in New York. Like they were one of the first bands to be together. Big ups to Daddy O, Prince Paul.
mhm,
Like they were paving the road for a real artist that was like hitting that direction of the jazz fusion. Like I
right,
mean, they have this big single called "Talking All That Jazz." You know what I'm saying?
right,
Like it was big, And then Prince Paul went from there. He started to he was producing for a lot of people and went
right.
into De La Soul
They
and
lie. Yep.
Tommy Boy. Big ups to Prince Paul.
No, definitely. Because he also credited with introducing the skit to the albums. People putting skits to kind of make the
Right.
album
Correct.
cohesive.
Correct. It
So
was
yeah,
all De La for 3
yeah,
Feet High and Rising. Yeah.
yep. So that's why, honestly, like for me, as much as I fucked up already, is trying to show myself as a hip hop head, but like that's why one of the reasons why I look at that project as like a real classic because my definition of being my definition of a classic is something that changes the 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 atmosphere of the game. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
not just it being a dope project, but it's like it's
It
something that
changed the game. And somehow,
yeah,
somewhere, just like Nas
it's a
Illmatic
shift.
changed the game. Wu
Right,
Tang, Enter the 36 changed the game. You know what I'm saying?
right,
P Rock and CL Smooth, changed the game. You know what I'm saying?
right,
That changed those little episodes. Tribe Called Quest changed the game. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Those are arches in our culture where they significantly, they change our game. They change our perspective, like on how we look at music. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Though all those perspectives and things change. Like just like you said, those changing of the game were notches. We're like, oh shit, you know what I'm saying? We go this way. Oh shit, we're going this way. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, and all that is, it's beautiful for the culture.
Right. Nah, no doubt, man. Now speaking of, what I'm saying, as far as like the music and everything, because of course we got into you get into DJing and such, but of course with this project, you the producer. Um, how did you get into like producing and beat making, and how was that transition from DJ and spinning records to
Well,
making the
when
music?
I got my first record deal with Atlantic Records at 18 years old, I was signed to a major label as a producer and a DJ. I
Hmm.
was under a group called Givers of Divinity. It was two rappers, and I was the DJ and the producer. At the same time, I started producing with the Diaz brothers. The Diaz brothers is Hugo and Louis Diaz, which are the same guys who discovered Pitbull.
Hmm.
Louis Diaz is Khaled's engineer. I go way back with Louis and Hugo when they first started their careers. We started our careers. It was on my when I was signed to Atlantic was when their careers had taken off. Louis was engineering at Harsh and Noisy, and me and Hugo used to go like uh, mess around on the drum machine. He had the drum machine, and I had records, and I
Right.
started, bringing the records to his house, and that's where we did. We ended up producing a lot of stuff for Atlantic, and from there, I just kept going. I just love production. I love the DJ, but production was everything to me. I never stopped producing. Throughout the years, I kept producing, for a lot of people and stuff like that.
I bet. What's your approach like when it gets to like? Do you start with a beat, or do you look for like the record or a sample? Um,
It all varies. Everything varies. It's all a vibe. To tell you the truth, I normally like I'm always listening to samples and records and stuff like that. And so when I hear a loop, it's like, oh, that's it. You know, I start with that, or you know, if I hear a certain bass line or something, or if I hear something I could chop up, or just you know, it triggers. You know, what I'm saying those are little triggers, and they make me want to like, you know, I sit there and record. You know, and that's pretty much where it goes from there.
I don't know. Yeah, I just man, I feel like I missed a wave as far as like getting to the record digging, you know what I'm saying, finding those samples. Like I really didn't get into it till like much later. Like I was like, oh snap, like this came from this sample, this came from that.
Yeah,
And then you really get interested because, you know, you hit a regular joints, you know what I'm saying, okay, you sample from, you know, Parliament or you sample, you know, the OJs or whatever. But then when you get those obscure joints, you know what I mean, where it's just like you ain't even know this record existed, but then you know it because you know this other song they kind of
right.
blew it up. But then when you find where the sample come from, you're like, oh shit! Like they took this and then did this to it. I guess maybe one prime example is was the Mobb Deep joint where Havoc took, you know what I'm saying, like I don't know, it was Herbie Hancock or Quincy Jones or whatever. He took one of them and just like
Herbie
twisted to
Hancock.
the point.
It was a Herbie Hancock.
Yeah, Herbie Hancock, and just like twisted that note to a point where the beat is its own entity now, but it came from one little ding ding
Yeah.
from like a whole composer. Like that's just it's bugged out. You know what I mean? That you and others can do that, man. Like that's magic shit. You know what I mean?
The coach it's you know what it's kind of like making something out of nothing. I mean, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not saying the music is not nothing, but it's like I don't know, man. I mean, I know my fellow producers would understand this. Like, it's like we have this thing. Like, I can hear a loop in my ear. Like, I can hear a loop. You know what I'm saying? Oh, that's a loop. You know what I'm saying? I got that. Like, you know, it's like a trigger, bro. I can't explain it. It's like a sixth sense. You know, like
Right.
you know, it's like you just hear something and you're like, oh shit, okay, that's a loop. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's I can do something with that. You know what I'm saying? You can just know that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's
No,
the
that's
funk about this. That's the funk about this culture that like I mean we make records like when the DJs were starting to DJ the breaks and stuff like that. They weren't no hip hop records. They were DJing, you know, they were
fun.
DJing funk
Yeah.
records, disco records, and they were breaks, and they were
Mm-hmm.
just you know it's about digging. It was about I mean that was the culture. It was finding to be that first. You know what I'm saying? To be like yo, you know what I'm saying? I want to be the first to bring this, you know, like, put this together or something like that. You know, that was pretty much where what came about, where the DJ would find a break and people would enjoy it, and you would feel the crowd while you know doing that certain thing. You know, those elements were great back in the days, bro. Like I can't even explain how it was great. You know what I'm saying? But to see the DJs in the street just going in, you know what I'm saying? Like that culture was crazy. I mean, you can't do it now. You
Right.
probably look
I was,
weird doing it.
I was gonna ask, like, how does it feel? Oh, what's your take on that original hip hop and the hip hop or rap culture we have now? Like, do you think there's still a tie-in to all of that, or
Of
has
course,
it
it all
been
ties together because you think about it, the new hip hop is starting to use the old hip hop. They're starting to sample the stuff that you know we did it, and
right?
I mean I'm gonna be honest with you, like it was kind of hard for me to embrace it at first in the beginning, but then
Mm-hmm.
there's a thing called ONS, and you're not there yet, but it's called old nigga shit. You know what I'm saying? Like and what it is like we have to embrace the cult, like what it is now. The kids they need our guidance, you know, so they can keep the culture
Mm-hmm.
going, so we can keep, you know, eating and everybody can be straight. But some of it's really trash, but some of it's really good. You know what I'm saying? There's some good artists out there. I like J. Cole and Kendrick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, there's some good artists out there. They write some good stuff. There's some good music. Absol, J.
Yep.
Rock. You know,
Yep.
these guys could kill it. You know what I'm saying? Same with you know, rest in peace to Mac Miller. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Joey Badass, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of good youth music. There's a lot of good music out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Somebody said it was difficult for me too. I was
Yeah.
like, leave the classes alone, but then again, it's cool to see them embrace the culture and keep it alive. Yeah,
Absolutely agree. We have to. We as who we are. I mean, at the same time, because I DJ a lot of the like I mean just last month DJ we had a party with Stove God. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't that's not ONS. That's just fucking
right.
that's youth. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
young. Yeah.
So I mean, I love playing Currency and like all that stuff is good to me. You know what I'm saying? I love playing all that stuff. I got all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, I play that stuff for the youth. You know what I'm saying? My son loves Currency. You know what I'm saying? My son cannot get enough of Currency. My son was listening to Currency, was kind of the one that brought Currency into my eye, And then I started booking Currency, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Doing shows with Currency. And you know what I'm saying, and I got to know Currency really well, you know what I'm saying? But I had to do, I mean, I got 20, my kids, I have 25 and 26-year-olds, you know what I'm saying? They don't, and they embrace what I've listened to. Like, they know who Cash Money Marv, they know who Public Enemy is, they know who Kid Capri is, they know who Tribe Called Quest is, they know who these people are, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
At the same time, it was kind of like I'd be in the car and then my son would play Currency and I'd make fun of it. It was like, and and fall asleep because the way his style of rapping was,
it was real.
So
we'd be on rap.
and my son would be like, "Yo, Dad, listen, this is Currency," and I'd make fun of him. And like, so because Currency, but it wasn't. It was just like just playing with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Because I enjoyed it. Plus, it was at the beginning. I believe one of my friends was started producing Currency too. So, I enjoyed the music, and that's what it was. You start embracing, enjoying the music. I was one of the first guys who booked J. Cole before he blew up down here. I did, 2 big shows with him down here. We did $1 for he did $1 for your something tour, $1 for the Soul
Dollar
tour.
in the Dream.
$1 in the Dream tour.
Yeah.
And I ended up hosting 2 parties. He sold so many tickets on the first time. It was an undercover party. It was DL. And we had to do 2 parties in one day. Like, we had 2 audiences. A 7 o'clock entrance, then the entrance had to get out at 9 o'clock, then a 9 o'clock entrance to get to like 12. It was crazy, bro. Those were the youthful days. Those were the younger days. So I started embracing all that young stuff, you know what I'm saying? I started embracing all that stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to J. Cole. That's probably one of the best concerts I've been to. I think that was 2015. We had just dropped in 2014 Forest Hill Drive, and he came to Tally, and he killed that shit.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah. So, well, before we get up out of here, man, I don't want to hold you up, but golly, I'd be remiss to not speak on your other project that you got popping. You got the Guapo Henny project.
Grupo Henny.
I took 5 years of Spanish and I still can't speak it. What in the world? Que lastima. Lo siento.
So Grupo Henny, Excess, the guy who introduced me to Thirstin, he's a DJ. He's a big DJ in Miami, and he started writing a couple years ago. His nickname is Eagle One, and we basically he used to kick these verses, yo, check it, boom, boom, and I'm like, yo, think of one day on some real shit, we're gonna have to fucking do a project, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, so not a couple years, you know what I'm saying, come by. It was about 2 years ago when we first started doing the project. He introduces me to this kid this guy plays like maybe 4 or 5 different instruments. He's a salsero, and he's an incredible instrumentalist. You know what I'm saying? So between my drums and his talent on the keys and instruments, we created the Grupo Henny project, which Henny stands for Heron, Nando, and Excess.
Okay.
So, the music was coming out incredible. That there's no samples on the project. The project is pretty much being dropped like in the middle of April, and we're dropping we just dropped the Palmetto, which is a song about sitting in traffic in Miami and how it fucks up your buzz. And then we dropped that with my boy Orion, and then we dropped another one called The Moneymaker with my boy Salazar, and that's on some Spanglish. The whole album is on some Spanglish hip hop shit, but these first songs has samples and stuff like that because it's to bring the crowd, just because it was new stuff, because it was the three of us getting together to do something different, something cultural or something different that at the same time where, I wanted to really bring exposure to the group. So where I was at, and I was dropping the Thirstin project, I was like, yo, let's drop the Henny project right after it. And like the project is right now, I can't wait to drop it. Like it's a really big, it's great. There's some big songs on there. You know what I'm saying? There's some, I can't wait to show them.
That's what we gotta do. When you do that, you know what I'm saying? I like Jerry, you know what I'm saying? We gotta bring you back, you know what I'm saying, for that project. You know what I'm saying? We can discuss that. Now I'm assuming this is my wife, and I want to be able to go to bed peacefully tonight, so I gotta ask this question. Who your top 5 MCs all time?
Woo! Top 5 MCs all time. Woo! Rakim.
Okay.
Rakim, the God Allah Rakim. Black Thought.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I know my wife. I better be careful what I say right now.
You gotta politic.
Yeah. Raekwon the Chef.
Okay. That's 3. This is a very good list.
Woo! I should have had this written down. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say.
You've been consistent so far. I can see them all in the group. I can see Raekwon, Rakim, and Black Thought. Like that's kind of in the same.
I gotta say Nas also.
Nas, that's still in the same group. That's okay.
And then my number 5. Wow, my number 5.
I gotta guess in my head what your number 5 is. I'm gonna see if he's going.
Ooh.
Try to get a wild card right now.
I'm gonna say Kool G Rap. Say Kool G Rap. Kool G Rap is man. Kool G Rap can ride his ass off, bro.
Right.
His style, like
right. Yeah.
Yo.
I gotta give Kool G his props because my favorite rapper is Biggie, and I know a lot of Biggie came from Kool G style. So it's all.
Listen. I have a neon sign on my wall that says, "You see it? It says, it was all a dream." And then I have Biggie dolls. You see on the top right over on this side.
I see it. Yeah, with the white suit. Okay.
Yeah. Two big one, and little one.
And the little one and the big one.
And I'm from Brooklyn. I'm from East New York, but I don't use I don't use Biggie as a cliche. I mean, I love Biggie. I mean, completely. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like Biggie changed my life.
Yeah.
He completely changed my life. When I got out of jail, that was the first album I heard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So Biggie changed my life completely. You know what I'm saying? And I should have recognized him as one of my 5. But
yeah. No, ain't no pressure. No, the top 5. Your top 5 is your top 5, and that was a dope top 5. Nothing to be ashamed at all. I thought you were gonna say Big Daddy Kane, but you came with Kool G Rap.
Big Daddy. My girl would have loved to say Big Daddy Kane. For sure.
Ain't no judgment. No judgment. And honestly, for me, Biggie my top because he.
Who's your top 5?
Yeah, but you're gonna judge me harder than anybody can judge you because I got my number 2. You're gonna already roll your eyes when I give my number 2. But no, for me, Biggie, that's the reason I even started rapping. Because, of course, we was always around. Well, be it I was younger, hip hop was always around. But listening to Juicy was like, that's when I want to do this. So Biggie, my number one. My number two, judge me on his earlier work and not his later. Eminem.
I'm not hating. I'm not hating.
The earlier stuff.
I've gone to a couple Eminem concerts. You know what I'm saying? I took my son to my son's first concert was an Eminem concert.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
ain't gonna front. Yeah, as a fan, I'm kind of jealous because I don't think at this point it's gonna happen. Definitely gonna never see my number one. That's not gonna happen.
Eminem got some good albums, got great songs. I'm not hating.
Yeah. No, for what I like he wasn't the illest, man. But I know how people look at Eminem fans. I'm not them. But anyway, my 2, 3, 4. Some people may see it as cheating, but it is what it is. So it'd be Outkast. So it's Andre and Big Boy.
Andre and Big Boy. Woo.
Yeah. And I know people.
That's a game changer. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, Southern Playlistic Cadillac music, like, yo, that, like the album was everything to me. I did not stop playing that album, like, as soon as I had it in my hands.
Right.
Me and Chris used to work for Brandsmart. And that album was like in our truck day in and day out. Like, we didn't stop playing Outkast for maybe 6 months, maybe. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that album was everything. That was a game changer.
Yeah,
like that's goes to tell you our versatility, like what we listen to, like from Outkast to to Kwame. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a big like gap. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know who Dungeon Squad is. Like, I know who these people are. Like, I've listened to it being in the South. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's kind of like I got the best of both worlds. Like, I got to hear the South, and I got to hear all of New York boom bap.
Right. That would have cast for me was just like I said, I was a Southern kid that got bit by the New York bug, so they kind of they're aesthetic. You know what I'm saying?
So you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because Outkast was big to me.
Yeah.
Big. As big as Rakim.
Right.
As big
like
as
for me personally, that's what it like as far as like influence, especially like my writing, like even today at 43, it's them, like CeeLo, Cujo, all like my writing is modeled after how they wrote. Yeah.
Creeping through my window was everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Like,
who's that creeping in my window?
Was everything. Like the production, everything. Coming from the South, that was like, and it's not that I'm saying we had no choice. It was like, it was in our grasp, so we enjoyed it. Like, I love Outkast, bro. That was a great, that's 3 and 4 being Big Boy. And did you hear
number 5, which is
did you hear
again?
Did you hear the Dre with Killer Mike?
Oh yeah. The Engineers and Science. Yeah.
Incredible record, bro.
Right.
What the? Ooh, good Lord.
But the thing about it still ticks me off because I'm just like, bro, I love you want to play a flute, but come on, man, you teasing, you teasing us, bro. I ain't mad at the flute, but you teasing us. You still got verses, bro. Come on, I don't got nothing to rap about, but you still rapping. You killing me here.
You know why? I'll tell you why. The brother, nobody didn't think of this, and I'll tell you what it is. Is that when you reach to a certain point where you can market yourself to different kinds of music. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a yoga instructor right now playing that in his class in some big suburban neighborhood with 10 other white people listening to Andre 3000 flutes as they do yoga.
Right. That's true.
Yep. Think about that. Like, remember when everybody was like, when hip hop was going into gospel music and it was like, when it was going into reggae and stuff like that. all he did was he brought hip hop to yoga. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
On some, but I forgot what producer it was. I saw it online. I forgot what producer produced. He produced something with it, and he sent it to bust around. Like,
dang, I'm trying. Yeah, he took it, and then I don't know who it is either, but I do know he took the sounds and kind of made music based on. Yeah.
That's ingenious. That's some good shit. I love shit like that.
All right, so my wife said I can come to bed peacefully.
Nice. Very nice. That's a good thing.
Yeah, man.
I'm getting
so
my girl is on you right now. So.
Yeah, before we get up out of here though, man, we can let the people know how they can get in contact with you. You know what I'm saying? Link up with you.
Definitely, you can find me at djheron.com. Mm-hmm. Also, you can check me out. I'm at DJ_Heron everywhere. I also have this web series that I don't know if you knew about. I was doing. It was called House of Heron, where I blindfold 12 of Miami's biggest MCs, and I have them go through my record collection. They pick out 3 records, and then I produce the record and film it at the same time while they write their verses, and we film it all into a little project. So I had like 12 episodes. I'll make sure I'll tell Jerry to let you know.
Yeah, bet. We're gonna promo that, man. My girl said, basically commented that you said your girl made lasagna.
Yeah.
Just quick story. That's how my wife got me. So, because like I hate lasagna. So when we first met, she invited me to her crib. She was like, "Well, it was like a game night, so it was like a family thing." She was like, "I'm gonna make lasagna." I'm like, "Well, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I fucking hate lasagna. If I don't eat it, I know I'm a big guy, but if I don't eat it, don't feel offended. I just hate lasagna." She was like, "Okay, just come and try it." So I came through, and I got there for everybody else, and she served me a plate. I'm like, "Hey, just saying, if I just take a little piece." Sorry, it is what it is. And 5 years later, we still here. And not only that, she went from at the time she was working with the local school board, but now she's a caterer, where that's her profession, is cooking up food and whatnot. So yeah, man, it's magic. So when you mentioned that your girl was fixing lasagna, you know what I'm saying? She had to throw that out there.
That's what she's making right now for dinner.
Dope. But man, I want to give you all the props, man. You're a legend in the game, and I appreciate you taking time to humbly come down and speak to your boy. I really appreciate this. And like I said, once you guys drop the Henny project, you know what I'm saying, we'll spin the block and let the world know about that too, man. I really, really appreciate this time, man.
Yeah. I appreciate you taking your time and giving me an episode and to your beautiful wife and being involved into our conversation and everything. It was fun. Yo, man, I really appreciate this, man. Thank you very much for your podcast, keeping the hip hop alive, man. Thank you.
No doubt. All right, so everybody out there, man, I appreciate y'all listening. I'll be back next week. You know what I'm saying? Got another guest, the Gods, will come through and we'll promote their project. And that's some more stuff rolling. Again, if you want to holler at your boy about getting some music on the pod or be the guest, just hit me up at enigmasept@gmail.com or hit me up on social media. And also make sure to hit my man DJ Heron up. Don't be a bugaboo, because you got time for that shit. But holler at your boy.
Always, if you come to Miami, I do all the underground hip hop parties. So if you ever come to Miami, anybody,
we got the surface level.
Just go to my page, Instagram. I post all my flyers there. Like I said, last month we did Stove God Cooks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every year for our Basel, we do the biggest parties down here. Big ups to Legends Only.
Plus, I realized it wasn't that tough of a drive. You know what I'm saying? I kind of ate that. You know what I mean? I was kind of scared. Like,
wifey said we going to Miami.
Right. She loved hitting the road. I'm like, Bob, baby, we need to sit down. And she's like, hey, we need to go. So yeah, you gave us that invite. She's gonna be in my ear now. Like, he said we can go, so we need to go. But anyway, let me get out of here. Again, appreciate you. Appreciate everybody out
Thank
there.
you, brother.
This
Thank you
is the
very much.
Enigma Sept Hour podcast. You got time, baby.
Salute.